Welcome to this week's Security Report. I'm Paul McAdam. Thanks for joining us. We begin with some scenes from the Ghana Police Force's participation at the Mashramani Panorama competition. The Ghana Police Force's Steel Orchestra emerged victorious in the large band category, whilst their B Division colleagues won the small youth band category. A boat captain who allegedly shot 38-year-old Aisha George to her left buttock on Saturday afternoon has gone into hiding in the Peruni Back Dam, Region 7. The suspect, known as Cartel by his colleagues at the Peruni Landing in the Mazun River, hails from Victory Valley in Linden, Region 10. The injured woman reportedly told investigators that she did not have any grievance or issue with the suspect and cannot understand why he would shoot her. The suspect is being sought. The police are on the hunt for a man who dropped a parcel containing an unlicensed firearm along Alexander Street and escaped after seeing a patrol on February 15. Around 11:30 p.m., ranks of the mobile patrol observed a male who was walking along the street with a bulky parcel and acting in a suspicious manner. As they approached the suspect, he dropped the parcel and ran through an outlet yard. It was retrieved and an unlicensed pistol with 2 rounds was unearthed. The police combed the area in search of the suspect but failed to locate him. And Constable Harris is in the intensive care unit at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation after suffering severe head injuries from a fall. The Bartica Police Station Region 7 rank and another were on an all-terrain vehicle or ATV driven by a detective corporal. The 3 were traveling through the Takatu Trail in Mazruni River Region 7 in response to a shooting incident. Harris fell off after the driver swerved to avoid a pothole. Litchfield Nursery School pupils from Berbice visited the Mountain Branch and K9 sections on Monday, February 17th at Barrack Street in Georgetown. They were followed by the Bijeville Secondary School students from Mahika Village on Wednesday, February 19, who also paid a visit to the John Campbell Police Museum. Now, cases were made against errant drivers from the crisscross patrols by ranks from Traffic Headquarters and Regional Division number 5 from Thursday, February 13 to Sunday, February 16. We have a breakdown of the offenses, and they included unlighted motor vehicles, tinted motor vehicles, breach of traffic lights, unlicensed motor vehicles, failure to wear seat belts, driving under the influence of alcohol, having an uncertified motor vehicle, breach of condition of road service license, breach of insurance, and unlicensed drivers. And 9 months after being charged for the possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking, a former prison officer, 23-year-old Cleon Webster, was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Webster initially denied the charge, which stated that on June 14, 2019, at the Campbell Street prison in Georgetown, he had in his possession 120 grams of cannabis or ganja for the purpose of trafficking. Reports stated that in that month, the court learned that the narcotics were found in the bag of the defendant after he reported for duty. Ranks of the Major Crimes Unit arrested several suspected gang members with links to a businessman from Arch Rose Hall Tongue in Berbice who operated a liquor and grocery store. Reports are that the ranks intercepted a car during the roadblock at number 51 police station, and based on intelligence received, the car was searched and discovered several suspicious items, inclusive of ski masks, dark-colored clothing, ammunition, and weapons. And the Britain Street Pleasance East Coast Demerara resident who has been eluding detectives since December 2017 was arrested recently in Bartica thanks to intelligence gathered. The suspect, who goes by the alias Mitty, was wanted for the murder of Dornell Pompey, which occurred on December 16, 2017 at the Pleasance Railway Embankment. He has already confessed to the crime. And 22-year-old Randy Bowen was shot dead February 18 by a businessman after he and another man robbed a woman of her handbag in William Street, Campbellville. Randy Bowen's body was identified at the scene by his father. Reports indicate that Bowen and an accomplice who were attempting to flee the scene were shot by the licensed firearm holder. And police are investigating the murder of 34-year-old Odrites Duarte Gonzalez, a Cuban national who was shot dead on Cumming Street between Middle and Quamela Streets in Georgetown at about 6:44 hours on February 20. According to reports, Gonzalez, an 8th Street resident, was walking to the Rosignol Butchery, which is located on Church Street, when 2 men on a red and white Honda XR motorcycle confronted him and shot him 3 times in a robbery attempt. On February 20, the force participated in the President's College Open Day Career Fair at the school's Golden Grove East Coast Demerara compound. Various sections of the force were on display at the event, including the Felix Austin Police College, the Traffic Department, the Criminal Investigations Department, Immigration, and the Public Relations Department. Woman Lance Corporal Odelis Dos Santos of the PR Department said the force used the opportunity to sensitize students about the Ghana Police Force as a means of building a successful career path. Other organizations such as the Tixella, American University, the Institute of Creative Arts, General Equipment Ghana, and the Ghana Defense Force also participated. Approximately 500 students from different schools on the east coast of Demerara attended the event. And an MOU was signed to implement pre-trial provisions for youth in the justice system at the Public Service Ministry on February 20. Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjidan called on stakeholder NGOs to play their part in the implementation of the provisions of the Juvenile Justice Act.
We also wanted to see a framework which would ensure that it saw professionals in the forefront supporting juveniles rather than prison warders. That's a huge development.
UNICEF's resident representative, Sylvie Foyer, commended the minister for walking the walk and offering youths a second chance.
Support and leadership on this from you, the ministry, the partners is really key in changing the narrative around the reality for young people, in particular when they are doing minor offenses.
United Bridge Builders CEO and civil society representative Bonita Montague welcomed the initiative.
We have to do a lot of work educating the public so they understand that this does not alleviate or avert justice, but it actually is justice.
Referencing his impoverished upbringing, Regional Health Officer for Region 4, Dr. Quincy Jones, noted that imprisonment for a child often does more harm than good.
The Juvenile Justice Act and the Juvenile Justice Department recognizes this. And this is tangible efforts in the right direction. And
Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan commended magistrates who, in collaboration with UNICEF and other NGOs, have been using their initiatives when dealing with youth in certain cases.
Today, therefore, the judiciary, and more particularly the magistracy, are pleased that we have reached to this stage where we are going to concretize these programs. They will be in place, and therefore they will be available to the magistrates to give them the option to make the appropriate orders.
Now for some news from the Ghana Defense Force. Members of the Joint Services on February 21 cast their ballot for the upcoming general and regional elections on March 2. Commander-in-Chief and President, His Excellency David Granger, visited base camp in Ghana, and the Police Officers Club, Ivleri, where voting took place.
The process is smooth. It is proceeding without interruption, and I'm very happy and very satisfied with the turnout. And I think the people of Ghana could be assured that the disciplined forces are performing their civic duty, and they're not being obstructed by the administration in any way. And the administration of the Elections Commission seems to be functioning efficiently.
The President said that come March 2, he expects a similar process as it relates to the smoothness of the voting process.
I expect that on the 2nd of March, the national process will be equally satisfactorily executed by the Elections Commission, which has responsibility for that function.
Brigadier Patrick West of the GDF was the first to cast his ballot at base camp in Ghana. 3,000 ranks are cast their ballots with a 95% turnout expected. Those who did not vote on that day will do so on March 2.
Anybody can appeal to any citizen. At the end of the day, we're all citizens of Ghana, and we will all have those choices to make now and in the future. And I don't see anything wrong with political leaders sharing from their own platforms, their own intentions about what they will do for Ghana.
Police Commissioner Leslie James also cast his ballot and expressed satisfaction at the easy flow of the voting process. And now for this week's wanted list. The force has issued a wanted bulletin for 18-year-old Stephen Archibald in connection with the murder of 23-year-old Kyle Chase, who was stabbed to death on December 30, 2019 at Mazaruni Street in Guy Hawk Park, Georgetown. Police headquarters said that Archibald's last known address is Lot 136 Victoria Street, or Boystown. Anyone with information that may lead to the arrest of Stephen Archibald is asked to contact the police on telephone numbers 226978, 225196, 2262870, 2267065, 2271149, 911, or their nearest police station. And that's it for this week's Security Report. Have a great Mashramani weekend. Happy Republic Anniversary. Goodbye now.